Yeah, I don't see anyone yet. Waiting for those dating questions. So we're going to talk a little bit about dating. I've got a little surprise guest that's joining me tonight as well. Excuse me while I look down, because of course, if you're wanting to post questions, you can do so on the Dinner Party Vancouver Facebook page. So facebook.com/the dinner party. And just give me a moment here while I check and see if we've got any questions that have been posted yet. None yet. So maybe what we'll do is we'll kick off. I'm going to start doing these once a week, give people the opportunity to get a little one-on-one coaching without actually being in my presence and learning from other people's questions as well. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Andrea Hill, and I am the owner and creator of The Dinner Party, where I host dinner events to help connect people who are single romantically. I pre-screen all my guests. I curate tables of people that complement each other based on family backgrounds, lifestyle, values, and it's with that information that I bring a great group of 8 to 12 people together. I host them at fantastic local restaurants. Predominantly they're happening in Vancouver right now, but we'll have a future one coming up in May in Victoria, as well as some dinners in the Okanagan this summer, and previously they've been held abroad, Portland, as far away as Spain as well, and a long-term goal is for these dinners to be hosted cross-country and across the world. I firmly believe that dating needs to be brought back to sort of the human side of things. We've got lots of great apps and online sites out there, but unfortunately, I find that it's making us more disconnected. And the feedback I get from the majority of my clients and people that I speak to is that they're frustrated with dating. And it's not always the safest medium of the online world anymore. So this has been my solution to the problem. In addition to that mission and vision is providing support to people out there that might be using different options to date to meet people, and empower them with some great know-how so that it's fun and not frustrating, and you keep cynicism at bay. So in that vein of thinking, I also host monthly talks locally in Vancouver, British Columbia, where I invite industry experts and professionals surrounding relationships and dating to have a panel discussion with me. We pick topics each month to kind of get hold of and dig into. Guests come and attend, and at the end we do a Q&A there as well, and it's been really interactive and fulfilling so far. So I've got my little guest off to the side here who's joining me for the next date night discussions, which is being held Sunday, April 19th at Stretch Studios in Chinatown, Vancouver, BC, 180 East Pender Street, from 4 to 6 p.m. And we're going to be tackling clarity and what does that look like in your dating life and the importance of it. And talking about boundaries too, and do you have any, do you not, and how they benefit you. So I'm going to introduce Jill Prescott. Jill is a spiritual pragmatist, and she's going to be joining me on Sunday, where we're going to be digging into this a little bit deeper. But Jill, I'll maybe let you tell us more about what you do.
Sure.
And where you're coming from with regards to your beliefs surrounding relationships and what clarity means to you.
Cool. Yeah, so what I actually do for a living and in my day-to-day life is I help people around subjects like this, what it takes to be in relationship. And my premise and what I bring to this whole conversation, I really believe that you need to be solid in yourself. So really bringing exactly who you are, getting clear on exactly who you are, what your beliefs are, what you're looking for before you show up on a date. So I feel that that's true for everyone, men and women, that it's really your responsibility to come clear and clean and leave the baggage at the door. So
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that that's true in all of our life, and not only relationship and everything. So I work with clients one-on-one, and I do group work, guided meditation, healing events, and lots of really fun stuff. But
yes, and I've been to the guided meditation, and I'm actually part of a really cool group that Jill hosts called Soul Sister Circle. Say that 5 times fast. And we have really heart-based conversations, which could range from anything. We always touch base with what's going on in our lives, and then she guides us through meditation, which brings up lots of stuff for each of us, and it's a support unit. So my extension of that, more dating based, is with the date night discussions. And what I really love about Jill is she brings that whole really sort of spiritual heart-based place that sometimes people aren't necessarily attached to or connected with. And you know, when you kind of get to the grassroots of maybe why you're having some challenges with dating, that's a good place to start. So clarity for me is not only having a clear vision of what it is that I'm wanting in a relationship and what kind of person I'm wanting in my relationship and having a relationship with, but also for me is how I want to feel.
yes, yes.
And I think we disengage from that a lot because a lot of the time I'll hear about people that are in relationships or relationships that have ended and they were miserable, but were attaching to something else that was sometimes maybe filling a hole that they hadn't filled for themselves, or it was familiar, or they were operating from a base of fear. And my belief is when you have a really clear picture of how you want to feel and what you want it to look like, that when someone enters your life, or even when you go on a first date and it's not resonating with you in that clarity of what it is that you want, then you know you can just let go and do it with grace and not take it personally.
Exactly. Leave all your stories at the door.
Yeah. And be clear with the person that you're interacting with as well.
Yeah.
So that there's no confusion or, you know, statements like, I don't understand. I thought we had such a great date. Because when you're clear and you can articulate it to someone when you're engaged with them, and part of that comes into body language, which we'll touch on as well, but then they know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I know from experience, and I think we've all been through that. I've had relationships, I'm 48 years old, I've had lots of relationships, and 2 divorces. So I actually know the other side of it. I know a lot about why it doesn't work. And having gone through all of that and been in the dating world between marriages and all that stuff, and really it was I took the attitude when I started to date again that I was practicing. And so every date was just practice for me. And it was beautiful because it was deeply respectful for both people. There wasn't any like, I have to do this or I owe anything to anybody. And I just had fun. That was the biggest thing. I just really started to have fun. And in doing that, I met an amazing man that I'm in a relationship with now. And it is all of that. It is deeply respectful. And you know, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden everything's perfect. It's just that I knew what I wanted, he knew what he wanted, and so when we came together in the relationship, it just made sense. We don't hold back, we talk about stuff, and we're just solid in who we are, and so it works. So, yeah.
And it really can be that simple.
Yeah.
But we tend to overcomplicate things.
Yes.
And try to get into someone else's head when we really have no business in there, that we need to reside in our own and not projecting and doing things like that. So, you know, having a very clear set of boundaries as well. So if there's certain things that you want in your life, don't start to explain away things that aren't feeling good within yourself.
Yes.
And I think that happens more often than not.
Absolutely.
So again, that's when clarity can come in. And you feel really solid in who you are. I really truly believe in coming from a place of self-love.
Yes.
And knowing yourself first and having a really solid relationship with yourself first before you can have one with someone else.
Yeah.
And taking the time to do that. So if you're puddle jumping from relationship to relationship, or you're perpetually dating, and you're teetering on the edge of frustration, or you also already have a healthy dose of cynicism, I challenge you to sort of sit back and take a little inventory of yourself and why you're feeling that way, and in turn how you want to feel, and what steps and what kind of clarity do you need to get in order to be in a place where you can date happily and practice and have fun and do all those sorts of things.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's such a good point that you made about loving yourself. That's my tagline, fall in love with you. That's, you know, that's the core of everything that I do and that I teach is, and I'm going to qualify that a little bit actually, because what I'm realizing lately is that you do love yourself. Everyone loves themselves. Otherwise we would die. It's just, it is the energy that keeps us alive, literally. And so it's not necessarily really about falling in yourself. It's about, or loving yourself. It's about falling in love with yourself. You know, it's about doing the things that express to you and to people in your life that you really do love yourself. And in loving yourself, you're clear on your boundaries. You know what you're looking for. And it doesn't even matter what you're looking for. It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe for you, it is serial dating for the next year. Own it. Have fun. And be
if that's where you want to be. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And if that's not where you want to be and you're getting involved with something that Andrea does, then it is about the relationship. Don't play with that either. So, yeah.
Yeah, honoring it and honoring yourself as well.
And the others.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree that, you know, we all have to have an semblance of self-love, but I think sometimes the things that we don't like, or we hide, or don't articulate, or don't want to even acknowledge because it's ugly or uncomfortable, can cause problems for us when we're trying to engage with someone else.
Yeah.
So making peace with those things, and you know, what are some great ways to do that? Journaling. Having a confidant where you can work through that, going and getting help, seeing someone like Jill, getting, you know, that kind of inner work is someone that you would see Jill for if you're needing dating support or advice, or we sit down and I see it becomes, and even through my own questions, you come to your own realization that you have a little bit of work to do, then I can refer you to people like Jill or any other professional that resonates with you, because that's why it's so great. There's so many of us, because some click better with others. But doing that real self-reflection to figure out where you're at in order to move forward. So I can't even wait to talk about more of this.
I know. It just occurred to me. I think I'm going to change my tagline to radical self-love.
Oh.
Because that, like what you were talking about there, about like not liking little bits. No.
Yeah.
It's about loving every last centimeter of your being.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that, you know, you've thought wasn't good in the past, or that you've been chastising yourself about. It changes everything when you get to that place.
It does. And it's, I mean, we're so sort of like outside image and how we all look, but, you know, it escapes me right now what show, but there's some shows out there in different shapes and sizes. And you don't even see that when someone owns who they are. I mean, I think it was Sophia Loren that says, like, you believe that you're a sexual being and that you're a confident person. It's not what you wear or how you dress, it's how you feel inside, and that's what's exuded.
Yes.
So short, tall, I mean, what have you. It's all about owning and loving what you have, because this is your vessel.
That's right.
You gotta love your, I mean, it's the only one you got.
That's
so
right. And you know, everybody's had proof of how that works. You go out on the town and you feel good, and there's a lot more happening.
Oh heavens, yeah.
You know, you see a group of women together or men together, and they're just really enjoying themselves and really into what they're doing. There's like a vibe off of those people. And that's what you're talking about. It's just, you know, it has nothing to do with what you look at. It's like, or look like, it's all about what you're presenting out there in the world. So.
Yeah. Well, I love on Wednesdays, if any of you are following me on Facebook, Wednesdays is connection. So I really believe getting out midweek and not always going out on weekends, where it's a different dynamic with connecting with people. It's maybe not this heart-based. It's a little bit nether region based. And if you go out midweek and you go to the places where you know the kind of people that you want to connect with are, which seems like a no-brainer, but it's amazing. Sometimes we miss that. That you can go out midweek, and I go out on Wednesdays and I recruit. So I go out, make sure that I feel really good, because just walking randomly up to people and saying, you know, are you single, and having that discussion takes a little, you know, kahuna. And it's been a really fun social experiment as well, because people, when we approach them, what I love is the first reaction is that they're flattered and sometimes surprised. And I'm thinking, but you're great, and you should know you're great. So why are you surprised that I'm approaching you? And going up, and they're also inspired by you approaching them. I wrote about a couple of weeks back, I went out with a girlfriend. She was kind of my wing girl while we were doing recruitment. And she just, like, in awe of this guy's magnificence, approached him right in the middle of the bar. And he blushed and then was flattered and sort of didn't know what to do with himself. And all the men at the other side of the bar were like envious. And you could hear out loud in the middle of the restaurant, why don't more women do that? Come talk to me. And like, they looked like perfectly, you know, statuesque, quiet, self-established men, but seeing it happen to someone else, they had that craving. And I know in Vancouver, a lot of you girls out there say that guys don't approach you. So just make sure that if they're approaching you, that you are open to that, even if it's not a good fit. I'm a big believer in empathetic dating and connections. So make sure that, you know, you say thank you for whatever their lead-in was, as long as it was respectful. And then you decline politely and graciously in a way that you would appreciate as well. But you have to be open to it.
Yeah, you know, and
I think I'm going to give us a little heart. Here, let's put more love in the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you put hearts over my head.
Love it. It's my first time on Google Hangout. Can you tell? And I'm like, oh, look, you passed them over. Can I? How's that work?
Okay, I have to talk again, and then it comes back. And that's how it happens.
Oh, is that how it works?
I don't know.
Damn, I thought I could just like sort of shove them over there.
That's hilarious.
Way too much fun. Sorry, I've gotten so distracted. I can see that there's some people on here and listening to the conversation. Has anyone posted any questions? It's funny, you know, dating, and people get all shy. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of not only myself, but you've got Miss Jill Prescott here and can ask us questions. I mean, anything. Like, who was on a date last weekend? How'd it go? Any head scratchers? Did they call you back right away? How'd that work? I get used to this. I wonder if I could have one of those like during the week.
I'm trying to get it back. It's not working.
Okay, hold on. Stop talking.
Okay. I don't think the talking is what did it. It just like kind of jumps over to you.
There.
Wait,
Will it work?
Okay, and I'm just gonna share something with everybody. I'm actually sitting on a pillow.
So am I.
So that I can get at least close to.
But Jill and I couldn't be any more different. Well, I don't know who's out there, but I'm 6'1". I'm a tall girl. And Jill, how tall are you?
I'm not quite 5 feet.
So we're a perfect pair.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. But again, beautiful in our own packages.
That's right.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
It works.
My parents had a lovely saying, is that for every rhinoceros, there's another rhinoceros. And unfortunately, my mom's passed away, but when they were together, wherever they traveled and they found a rhino, they had a little collection of them.
Really?
Yeah, so it's my little love.
Has a
Oh,
collection.
really? It's my little love totem. And I think they made that discussion or that sort of little thing because rhinos, well, they can be kind of ugly.
And they're actually incredibly loyal.
Wow. Yeah. So there you go. But for every odd-looking, but yet still beautiful rhino.
Oh, yeah.
There's another rhino. Yeah. Let me help you find your rhino.
That's so awesome.
My phone just buzzed. Someone get brave?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, come on.
I wonder
guys.
what it is around the whole dating thing. And
People get
this,
shy. And it's funny because I'll do, I'm going to be sharing tomorrow my most recent post, which is very timely. It's about clarity. And, oh, look, thanks, Jill, you gave me back.
I did.
And I get emails, and if I see people and they know me from the dinner party, they'll reach out and say something. But doing it in a more public forum, like on Facebook, everyone gets all shy. Like, you're not alone. Everyone's having dating issues, relationship issues, and it's getting it out and talking about it, which, oh, you're welcome.
I don't know how that happens. Now I get the hearts.
Getting it out and talking about it. Oh, look.
I guess yes.
That really helps create change. And if we all end up starting to speak the same language, even as men and women, it's just going to get so much simpler. And just put more love into the world. Because I'm a big old romantic.
Well, romantic and you know, love in the romance part of it, yeah, it's important as well. But there is something to be said for having a little bit of old school back in.
Oh yeah.
I'm
that's my tagline.
Very attracted to that. My man opens the door for me, and he, you know, cares for me in a way in which I feel really honored all the time. And it's a little old school. He walks on the road side of the sidewalk, and
just in case a wagon goes by. So sweet. That's why, man, for those of you that don't know, we're always etiquette was to be on the roadside in case a wagon went by through a puddle and splashed your lady.
That's right.
That you took the hit.
That's right.
So I suppose that could still happen with a bus in this day and age, but not so much so anymore. But yeah, no, I mean, chivalry is not dead.
Thank goodness.
No,
because I'm all about it. I like the old school charm. And you know, part of that too goes along with it is honesty and straight talk and no hiding and all of that stuff, right? I mean, it's unfortunate to say it's old school, but it is. And thankfully there seems to be a little revival of it going on, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And stuff like what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, and ladies, I mean, we're in a day and age where, you know, we're claiming our power and we're running our own companies, but when you're doing that, you can still be feminine.
Yes, exactly.
And if you think you have to bring your male energy forward, you're robbing the guys of their stuff. And men are biologically built to be the pursuers. They need to be needed. They want to do stuff for you. It's how they feel their own power. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, run your company during the day, but still embrace that feminine side of yourself, especially when you're connecting with your partner or if you're out there dating. I mean, men, every shape, size man, I have yet to hear from any of them, and I've interviewed hundreds of men that they love a feminine woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a little bit of something's happened because feminine is actually incredibly powerful. And so it's not that, you know, you give up any of your power for this. You just ease gracefully in your feminine. Yeah,
you're a nurturer.
That's right.
It doesn't mean frilly dresses and
sometimes.
Yes.
I like a frilly dress every once in a while.
But it doesn't necessarily like you don't put on a frilly frock and all of a sudden you're feminine. Exactly. I mean,
it's not external.
No, not at all. But embracing the nurturing side of you and your sexuality too, without being overt. Yeah. I mean, that's Sophia Loren. She had it all going on. Mm-hmm. She knew what she was talking about. And still does. She's still with us, isn't she?
I don't know.
I know. I love it. Look at the screen. Do you know?
Can somebody out there answer our question, please?
And I see you guys on there. Someone ask a question. I'm dying to hear a question. What's some stuff that comes up? Well, there's that whole sort of, and I really truly think it's a fallacy about the difference between the men and women in Vancouver. And the reason why I feel confident saying that is that when I sit down with male guests and my female guests, they're both saying the same thing, but you're not talking to each other.
Yeah, they're saying it to you.
They're saying it to, oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, because I'm asking.
Exactly.
But it's the same level of frustration, is that no one's approaching the other person. So also to tie it back to sort of what I do on Wednesdays is I give you a little challenge or tip in this most recent one. And again, it seems like really kind of no-brainer stuff, but to go out and do what I call a high drive-by. So whether it be out on the street, or you've gone out to connect with people in a lounge, or you're out for dinner, or you make eye contact with someone and you give them a dazzling smile, and then you can just walk by.
Yeah.
But it's an invitation. And if you get really good at reading body language, which can be pretty obvious, you've either given them an invitation to come up and engage you, or you've just made someone feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a win-win.
That's right. Yeah.
So 3 people a day going out and doing a drive-by. And Vancouverites in particular are renowned for doing this and getting in their little bubble and not looking up or acknowledging the people around them. I mean, I even find the mature part of our population, even seniors in my neighborhood, you do it and they light up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God, someone said hi to me.
Yes.
Hi!
I'm like the serial hi smiler at everybody. I
Perfect.
And I will lock eyes from half a block away,
Yeah.
just to see if they'll actually continue to hold my gaze,
Yeah.
and engage in that with me.
Yeah, and can you imagine if we all started doing that?
Yeah, it would just become commonplace.
We could like revolutionize just even Vancouver City alone. If everyone just like looked up and smiled.
Yeah.
So if you're, frustrated and feel like this thing's hilarious.
Where do the questions show up on this thing?
Well, they can show up in the chat, but I've told everyone, just so I can control it, is to post on Facebook.
Oh.
And you have the link on the page here to the Facebook page. But I've also done a link on Twitter. So if you want to tweet at me, and it's at jointhedp on Twitter. And then on Facebook, it's facebook.com/The Dinner Party Vancouver. But it is our first kick at the can, and I'm hoping, bravery will come. Earlier during the day, and you could still do it now, that's why I'm looking down, checking out my little phone, is you can email me at info@jointhedinnerparty.com as well. Now, when you heard about what I did, let me spit out my words here, did any obvious things kind of come up that you're like, oh, I don't get that, or I have a question about the dinner party? Maybe you can field some of those.
And one thing that actually kind of surprised me was this idea that you don't actually ask anybody out at the party.
Yeah.
That's like huge, no pressure. Like, you aren't allowed to actually go up and ask somebody out or make a move on them during the dinner party. It's just like flat out conversation, connection, and then you connect them afterwards, right? Yep.
So it's 8 to 12 people, just like in junior high, it's boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl around the table. Sometimes that's strategic as to ask who I asked to sit where. Sometimes it's random. It's just as long as everyone's alternated. The group is small enough that everyone can get in on the conversation. I organize a really special meal with the restaurant, typically family style or multi-course, so it's really interactive. But yeah, we're just there to get to know each other. And I'm the friendly face, so you're not showing up and not knowing no one. You've already spent an hour with me during your discovery session. And you're going to come and meet great people, because I'm really good at that. And they're all going to share similarities with you. So conversation's super easy. And, understandably, sometimes people come and they're a little bit nervous, but honestly, after about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm there to instigate kind of conversation. And I don't have to work very hard.
Nice.
All the hard work happens beforehand.
Yeah.
So I'll just sit down, sit back, and it's just a little cacophony of people talking about interesting things. So the reason why I took away the asking someone out at the table So that wasn't in the back of your mind,
Yes.
and you were nervous at the table, or if someone was interested and possibly you weren't, that it would change the energy at the table.
Yes.
That everyone could
So
just sit,
great.
and enjoy each other. And then, I send you a little outline, so there are rules that you can check out on jointhedinnerparty.com as well. But no asking. And then within 2 days post dinner, I contact everybody, get a little feedback about how they enjoyed themselves. Sometimes it's really obvious at the table if you can see like a connection between people. But then I ask if there's someone you're interested in. I then reach out to them. If it's mutual, then I get the okay to exchange contact information. I do a little bit of gentle coaching on what the next steps should be in order to be successful. Yeah. And then you're on your own.
Cool.
And I'm just the facilitator. So it's not matchmaking or anything like that. The only thing that slightly looks like matchmaking is it's like I'm matchmaking 12 people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then the rest is really up to you. But everyone's pre-screened. I've taken them through the same discovery session. They all go through putting on their own private profile, so I know who everyone is. I check who they are, so they are the height they are the age they are, that all that is checked. So it's very safe environment to show up into. You're guaranteed to have an amazing meal with some really cool people, and you can just walk away if you want to, or you can connect with someone if someone lights you up.
I was sharing, is there something else with that, or can I ask you something else?
No, ask me something else, but I do have exciting news.
Okay, cool. I was sharing what you're doing with a single friend of mine, and he asked me what the cost was, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it costs to do this.
Yep. So membership is crazy affordable. It's $100 for 1 year membership.
Wow.
And then each dinner is $150. And depending on what it is that you're looking for, you might be invited to more dinners more often, and you can decline. Or it may take some time for me to find a group that's right for you, and before you get to come to a dinner.
So it's $100, and that includes the hour they spend with you before.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when I said he goes, oh, that's probably like a $300 service. I'm not sure I can invest in that right now. I'm like, I don't think it's that much. So that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
And really, like $150 for a dinner.
Yeah.
Even if you went out on your own, you'd pay what, 75 to 80 easily at a place like that.
So the only thing it doesn't include drinks.
But you're now getting this whole thing organized for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And with online sites, you're paying $60 every 3 months, and you're having to wade through tons of people and field your own emails and deal. All the hard work that comes into it. So it just was created out of something that I would want. And it's really resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so the exciting part is I've had successful matches. And then I just got told about another one last night.
Yay!
Yes.
Yay for love.
Yes. Super excited. And like out of the park, like first dinner, and they've met someone. So, if you've been slogging away at it for however many years, or have had your fill of coffee dates, then you got to go out for one dinner, and I mean,
nice.
Bammo.
Amazing.
I think I've got a question. Okay, so question is, if you talk about everything you don't like, don't you come across as naggy? For example, if you expect more frequent calls that are not coming, if you address, it won't be clingy. So what I think I'm taking from that is that if you've just started dating someone and you're sussing each other out in a relationship, and you're saying, you hear from them once in a blue moon, and you say, what I need is to connect with you more often. No, I don't think it's clingy at all. And this is about the clarity again, right? Because what you set as your own healthy boundaries are what you need in order to feel really good and valued in a relationship. And that's going to be different for every single person. However, those needs will click and be understood and honored by certain people and not others. So if you're starting into a relationship and it's not jiving and you're frustrated, you have voiced what you need and asked for what you need, and it's being declined or dishonored or disrespected, that's clarity for you.
Yeah.
That's not a good fit.
Yeah.
You don't
Don't
want to
step over that stuff.
No. It makes it very clear, and it doesn't need to be harsh. You're not being difficult. It's just not a good fit with that particular individual. And it's in those situations, if you try to explain, well, but he's so great with this, and he does this, and I really like it. But that's a bone of contention for you, and it's part of the structure that you've outlined for yourself that's important, and it's not happening, then it's not a good fit.
And there's some things that you actually don't have to talk about. It's not like you go on the first date and say, this is what I'm willing to be with, and this is what I'm not. There's not that. It's not that. Just relax. Really, it's practice. Chill out. You're going to know pretty quickly and pretty clearly if somebody's going to be in alignment with what you're looking for or not. So
I'm going to make sure you're not just a hovering.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look, you can see my bra.
Oh.
I'm good now.
Okay.
It's a cute bra. I'm good with it. It's cuter than the t-shirt I'm wearing tonight. So just so y'all know too, like I didn't know I was doing this until
I did a surprise attack.
Yeah, like 4 minutes. I was on I just got home. I have no makeup on. I'm like,
so gorgeous.
I'm running down the sidewalk because we live like literally down the street from each other, and I'm realizing, oh, I took my belt off. Let's just make sure my pants stay up.
Just this part up. You don't have to know what's going on down there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where they like. She's all glam, and I'm like the opposite.
I was prepared, but I need like the lipstick and stuff. It would have been. I wouldn't do that to you.
So do I.
I don't think that's true. So I hope that answered your question, and thank you so much for posting it in. So just to reiterate again, to make sure we covered all the bases, if you talk about everything you don't like, don't you come across as nagging. So as Jill just touched on, you're not out of the gates, here's my list, and you roll it out onto the table. And stern finger, but through interaction and behavior, I was saying this to someone last night, people will show you who they are. It's up to you whether or not you want to believe them.
Yes.
So if you've started a relationship and have articulated after a couple of experiences of the communication not going the way that you need in order to feel valued and respected in your relationship, and that's not being honored, then that's pretty clear to me. And it's not being naggy, it's honoring yourself and what you need in the relationship.
You never need to be naggy. It's only that's a misconception about it only is like we were talking about this whole time. It's very much just about knowing your boundaries and being cool with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what, there's awesome for somebody, it's just not working for me, that's all. No story, no like big deal about it. It's just it's not going to be a match every time.
Yeah.
So don't step over that stuff.
No, don't disregard it, because it will come back to haunt you, or it'll be something that continues to build, and resentment will get to a point where you're going to have serious conflict. Yeah. So really important that you pay attention to those things. I've got a favorite story. Way back when I was listening to a radio show, and a woman had called in and she was complaining that her husband, I can't even remember what the poor man did, I think leaving his stuff lying around, or was eternally late, or something, some sort of issue. And she went on at quite length because she was frustrated. She needed to get it out, and it felt safe in this forum to do it. And the radio host said, well, I have to ask you a question. So how long has he been doing this? Was he doing this before you got married? And she said, yeah, it drives me nuts. It's been happening all this time. Like, you think he'd get it? I told him 1,000,000 times that it drives me bananas, and he's still doing it. And she said, So I'm going to say it one more time. Was he doing this before you got married? Yes. Well, then you've accepted that behavior, that's okay. And that's your issue and concern, and not his. Because he's made it very clear since the get-go who he is, what kind of person he is, and how he operates. Now, don't get me wrong. There's always negotiation and compromise. But if that's ingrained in someone and they very clearly aren't willing to do it, no matter how many times you've stamped your feet or raised your voice or whatever you've done out of frustration over this continual issue, it's part of who they are. So you either make peace with it and everything else does balance it and it's not an issue for you. But if it's driving you nuts and it's really something that you have learned through practice of dating and relationships, that it's not working, then you need to find someone that does fit with the things that are really important for you.
Yeah.
And that takes time.
And that is exactly what I was just going to say, right? Is that sometimes, like, I think we rush a lot in dating and in relationships to, like, slow down, seriously, because what's showing up in the first month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, it's a whole lot different. You know, you're going to get to know people. And you have the right at any time to say, it's been great, there's been a lot of good stuff, and now I'm realizing it's just not the right thing. Yeah, that's all. We get all wrapped up in complicating it, and there's really no reason to complicate it.
There isn't, but that takes a great deal of clarity.
And knowing yourself.
And knowing yourself.
Work here, stay right here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, like, blaming out there doesn't do anybody any good, so work here.
No, and you need to be accountable for all the choices that you're making.
Exactly.
So if you're stuck in a place where this person's driving you bananas, it's been your choice to stay in that place.
That's right.
So there's some serious dating food for thought for you. Now, Jill, what have you got coming up? If people want to connect with you and let people know what it is that you've got going on.
Yeah. Well, right now, the one event that I've got coming up is on April the 25th. I'm doing a full-day guided meditation and healing event. So this is, it's a deep dive. So anybody who wants to, like, jumpstart this whole thing of really knowing yourself in a deep way, I would recommend that you've done at least some meditation so you kind of know what you're getting into. That can be a really profound experience. A lot of people are getting massive benefits from it. I also do 3-hour guided meditation and healing evenings that other people host. So Andrea did it,
so great.
hosted here, yeah. And they can be quite amazing as well and really cost effective. They're very inexpensive for each person who comes, and you definitely leave with some really beautiful insights for yourself. And then I work one-on-one with clients too. So I would just find me on my webpage. It's on my website, sorry. And the website is www.tangentpath.com. Or you can find me on Facebook. It's jillprescott.ca on my business Facebook page. Although my personal page is wide open too, so just come and find me.
That's true. Jill does a really cool session on Mondays live on her Facebook page where she does card readings. Mm-hmm. So you log in when she says that she's going to be doing it. So are you normally doing it around 6, or does the time change?
Well, the time changes. So I'll posting tomorrow when I'm going to start reading on Monday, this Monday coming up. And each person, I'm an intuitive as well. So you post your question. As long as you get it in that half-hour time frame, I will get it answered for you. So I pull a card from whatever deck I intuitively want to pull it from, and then I uncover kind of the underlying stuff underneath of that card for you. You're still laughing at the heart stuff.
Like, oh, they're mine.
And it's been really fun. And it's free.
Yeah.
And
I did it this last Monday, and I love it.
Yeah. 24 people in the 30 minutes.
Oh, it's only going to get more and more popular. So pay attention, because it's just for a half an hour. So if you don't get your question in there, you're poop out of luck.
That's
so.
Right. And then because of the popularity of it, people were, like, in the back end asking more questions. So then I said, I'll do longer readings for $35. So if you want a really solid longer reading, then it's a very inexpensive way to get a little bit of clarity for yourself.
Yeah, and a shout out to the girls that do the Serendipity team networking events. So Jill just participated in the last one, their big anniversary due at Hotel Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
And I have run into people that know that Jill and I know each other, and oh my God, she blew my mind, and how did she know those things? And so definitely worthwhile. So if you can't sneak in on the Mondays, then definitely book a time to see her for that too, because she'll blow your mind.
Yeah, and I do it on. And I do work on Skype and phone, so there really isn't anything other than the group work that I do that we can't work out over the phone or Skype.
Yeah,
so, and it's just as effective.
Yeah.
So
No,
I still have clients who insist on driving in from Maple Ridge and go Quitlam all the way to the West End to see me because my house is awesome.
So nice. Yeah, exactly.
And I feed them chocolate and tea. So what can you do? Yeah.
That nurturing, I love
That's
it.
right.
I love it. And so everyone knows too, if you're interested in the dinner party, when you become a member, there's lots of other perks. And one of those perks is you get the benefit of having a dinner party sort of featured discount, if you will. I hate to use the word discount because there's so much value in the packages, but I have brand partners. So there's different businesses around the city that offer services at a dinner party rate.
Me included.
Yes, so that's my lead in, is that Jill is one of those people. So she's got a really cool package that you can still go on the site and see what it is that she offers, but you don't get your promo code until you become a member. And as soon as you enroll, I email that package off to you and you get to enjoy it. And I mean, there's lots of goodies. There's Jill, there's Surprise Me events. So if you've met someone and they've really rocked your socks off, Rebecca can help you plan like an amazing date.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And check her out on Facebook too, Surprise Me events. She does some amazing stuff. She's helped with like engagements and everything else. So great package
so
there.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool.
So gonna get on that.
Really cool. Aveda Tonic. So there's one on Robson Street and there's also one on South Granville. You get a discount on all of your hair services, so haircuts and color. So if you want to look amazing for your next dinner or date,
I
or
wish my
just
hair
in
was
life.
down because it was actually done by Aveda Tonic.
That's right. Yeah.
It even looks cute up.
No, it does.
I'm loving it. She's a fantastic
That was a fun day.
job. Wow.
That was a fun day.
Yeah.
And then I've got a professional makeup artist, Mizzy Alprek. She will come right to your house to do your makeup, or come to a venue if you're needing her to do something special. And she is amazing. You can find her online as well, but all their links and details are on there. And I don't know if any of you've been for a float, but Float Yaletown is a brand partner of the dinner party as well. And you get a great rate to go in and go for a float and really get in that centered Zen place, so that you become a dating master.
I love it.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty cool. We also have our own forum too in community. So if you want that privacy and you want some one-on-one care from me and the support of like-minded, if you're a women with women, and if you're a man, men, that's available on the site as well. So I'm sure you'll see Jill again, but if you want to hear us dig in a little deeper and actually give you some actionable items to take away from this Sunday's date night discussions, you can join us at Stretch Studios, right down in Vancouver's fabulous Chinatown at 180 East Pender Street between 4 and 6. So go out and enjoy your Sunday. Come in for a little dating nourishment and then go off to have your Sunday night dinner. Beautiful venue. Stretch Studios has been the host venue for the last several talks. You feel like you're transported to a New York loft. I mean, the place is amazing.
It is. It's beautiful.
I recommend that you come. Right on the Facebook page is the link to buy tickets. Or if you're one of those last minute people, you can always get tickets at the door as well. And anything that we really want to leave them with? I'm just going to, maybe you can impart some wisdom while I check and see if there's any other questions floating around up there. Someone's told us that we're adorable.
Oh, that's good. Adorable's good.
Oh, look. Here. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I have one?
Oh, what can I give you? Here, there you go. You got a
yeah.
tiara. Oh, no, sorry.
Wait a minute. Can I? There we go. Look. Let me take it.
Do you want a crown
There it
instead?
is.
Or do you like the tiara?
No, I like the crown.
Ooh,
I want the crown.
totally just robbed you of your tiara.
I want a crown. I want a crown.
Okay. Quick, before I rob it back
I'm
from
too
you.
old for tears. There we go. I'm a queen, after all.
Oh my goodness.
So I
Well,
guess that's the
does
fir-
this
that's the-
aid in the whole adorable thing? That we got the- Oh, look, I robbed you of your crown again. So sorry, Jill.
Oh.
Way too much fun. I hope you're finding us
And-
entertaining.
And that's the wisdom to impart, really, is just like, have fun.
Oh my God,
Don't
dating should be
so
fun.
But like everything gets so significant. I
Yeah.
got the crown back. Don't like just chill out. Seriously, chill
Yes.
out. Have a good time.
Yes.
Man, that crown is like moving. Like, is there a halo by chance?
Oh, there is.
Oh! I so want this app. Yeah, that.
Oh,
actually-
here we go. Do you feel men with charisma have a huge advantage over men who don't in dating? What advice would you give men that don't have charisma?
I would say be yourself, because your energy is what speaks, not necessarily something kind of showy on the outside there.
Yeah, and charisma is a funny thing because it's like everyone has a different idea of what red is. You know, you go to a hair salon, I want red hair, and you leave with something completely different. So
Purple.
charisma can go that way too. Sometimes someone who's an overt extrovert can be considered charismatic. It can swing too far the other way when a guy's a real and it makes you nervous and a bit leery because you think he's not really coming across as necessarily authentic or genuine. Like, where's the off button?
Yeah.
So you can swing too far on either side of the scale. I think if you own who you are and are curious about who you're with and are comfortable in your own skin in the sense that, like, this is who I am and these are the things that I love and that's cool for me, and if it doesn't resonate with you, that's cool as well. That's the most attractive.
Yeah, I'll
to
tell
me.
you, the sexiest thing is a man who looks you in the eye in conversation that you know is hearing you.
Oh,
And charisma has nothing to do
No.
with that.
Yeah.
So if you're the quiet guy, you probably are a very good listener, and there's nothing we like more.
oh no.
There's nothing
Well,
we like
we all
more.
want to be seen, like really seen and heard. I mean, listening is a huge tool to
Yeah.
use to be successful in life, but
Mhm.
in dating, absolutely.
Yeah.
Be super curious when you're out connecting with people. I mean, you want to leave knowing something about that person, and innately, if it ends up connecting with you, all that much better. So even with the dinners, I'll say to someone that two people have connected, and I'll say, okay, now you're going to plan your date. This is a whole other conversation, but you phone. Don't you dare text. You phone. And you arrange a date that's around what you heard and interested you about that person. And that's a bit charismatic, I think.
Totally.
Because you have, you've tapped into that person and you're exuding that interest that you have in the other person.
Yeah.
So let me make sure. I tend to run off on tangents here. You think give us hearts back? Or
No,
what's going
no.
on over there?
Look at this.
Okay. Do you feel men with charisma have a huge advantage over men who don't in dating? No. Oh my God. Really? Excuse me while I go look for my sheep. Oh no, that's Dr. Seuss. My green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give men that don't have charisma?
Yeah.
I think it's just being comfortable in your own skin and listening and being interested. How can I be serious when that's
You
on your
can't
head?
be. Can you switch it now? Pick something else.
So really, the advantage is that it's not being an outgoing person. It's being interested
and authentic
and present person
yeah.
who is authentic and curious about who they are and is curious about the other person and celebrates who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope that answers your question. I think it's really important too because, you know, I hate to bring it back to the dinners again, but another reason about what it is that I do is that I take away the one-on-one mirroring that tends to happen, or we project onto the other person what we think they want to see or hear, or they're sharing something and we want to connect, so we do it inauthentically by maybe stretching the truth or saying, oh yeah, I do yoga too, and you've done it once. Whereas at a dinner, you've got so much going on and so much interaction, you can't be anything but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So being authentic it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It can't not happen. So if you can tap into that and really visualize what that looks like, and again, what it feels like, you're going to be successful. And successful is connecting with the people that you're supposed to connect with because you're being yourself, so it's an authentic connection. And you're going to be successful if you don't connect with that person, but you know you didn't, and you can just gracefully say,
that's right.
Thank you and goodbye.
Yeah. So whoever asked that question, we expect to see you there on Sunday.
Yes. We're going to give you such good stuff to leave with.
That's right.
I'm so excited. That was a Twitter question.
Yay!
Thanks, Twitter question.
I should be checking my Twitter.
I love it. Yeah, has anyone
Somebody
posted anything on Jill's page that you want to ask?
I don't know.
Thanks, Kev Ty, whoever you are. That's fantastic. Keep on asking questions.
Yay.
We're full of answers.
Okay, now what do we got left? How many more minutes? 5 minutes left?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
the timeline is when we feel like we're done.
Okay, so
If you want to call in at midnight, we might still be here. I do have a glass of wine that I haven't jumped into yet.
yeah,
so.
she does.
I did offer, she declined.
I declined, that's right. Because, you know, there's actually like, I don't know, 7 more different hats we could throw on.
Yeah, some of these are scary, though.
I want to know what's going on with that rock.
I have a degree in dating.
Nice.
Advice.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, in dating, too.
I've never had one of those hats on. Can I have it for some?
Right.
I want to see it. Here, go like that.
That's funny. Just start talking. I think you'll end up
I don't
just
know.
taking
Maybe it eventually it comes over there. But what I actually want to know is why there's a green rocket.
Oh, that's a mask. Oh, no, that's a mohawk.
Oh! It looks like corn.
Oh. And we haven't been drinking wine.
I don't want that.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Fantastic.
And there's a dog.
It's party time. It's party time at the dinner party. Just ask session. Let me just check in and see if we've got questions from anybody else. And I went crazy. I mean, I did this on my own Facebook page, my dinner party Facebook page, on Twitter. It's available on YouTube. I haven't checked YouTube. Maybe I should check YouTube right now and just see, just in case there's questions there.
What happened?
Yeah, sorry, hold tight here, folks. We're going to, excuse me while I look on my party hat here. I'm just going to see if anyone's been posting questions over there. And with YouTube, it can be a complete mixed bag. So let's, because it's open to the world.
Oh, right, of course.
Right?
We're getting like questions from Argentina.
Whoever's awake.
I actually like that idea. That's pretty cool.
My poor little computer is completely overwhelmed. We're going to have to wrap it soon. I'm running out of juice.
Yeah, I am too.
All right. Jill has to go home to plug herself in.
I totally do. I was unplugging when I came down.
Well, you're such a trooper. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, it was fun. This is perfect. It's awesome.
Sorry, everybody. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone, so I'm just going over to YouTube because I'm in Hangout right now.
There are some freaking crazy videos on YouTube too.
Let me just check out. There's me with my party hat on.
Look at that. My party hat. Oh, this is so cool. There you go.
I've gotten a cheerleader comment from someone on the East Coast who is now sleeping. I hope you're having a restful sleep. But no, nobody over on the tube that's posted any questions, which is great. Means everyone's followed my directions about posting them on Facebook or tweeting them out. So thank you for that. So I think we'll just leave you with some parting thoughts. Let me just get us back in action here. I'm sure I've been talking to you. Oh, no, it's Jill with the party hat on.
Put the dog on.
Oh, yeah, it's a full-on mask. Let's go back to love, shall we?
Yeah, let's not do the dog thing.
Let's go back to love. Yeah.
There we go.
No, we've done goodness. We're not in the doghouse. Oh, it's obviously, no.
No, love.
There we go. So what can people expect from us on Sunday?
A lot more of this, I think. You know, I think it's really important to keep things light. And again, I don't do significant. I mean, I don't do significant. I do real, and I definitely do, you know, some deep work with people. But significant, I need to be able to laugh part of the way through. So I think what they can expect, yes.
Oh goodness, if you don't have a sense of humor, you are in trouble. I mean, in life in general. Shout out to my girl who knows what I mean when I say humor is tenacity. But humor is so important, and especially when you're dating. I mean, it's two humans that are looking for love, and comedy will ensue. I mean, hello,
it has to.
Seinfeld, or millions of shows that are out there. There's a reason for it. Yeah, so, yeah, we'll be having fun. I will look for fun hats for us to wear, maybe, but I think you're just going to get the benefit
I will have
of
better
that.
hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have better hair and makeup on.
Styled by a Beta Tonic.
That's right.
Exactly.
Out of Beta Tonic.
Yes, exactly. I think for me, we're going to be digging a little deeper because I think we touched on earlier that sometimes words can mean different things to people. So really getting clear on clarity and how to get it for yourself, and give you some exercises and processes that you can put yourself in order to get clarity in your life. And we're definitely going to be having a discussion about, you know, I wish there was another word, maybe you can come up with one, Jill, for boundaries, or, you know, gentle, loving structure around what you're looking for when you date.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, I'll work on the lingo. But so that it's fun and stress-free and less frustrating. So you're not going and saying, why isn't he or she doing this? You can just make peace with knowing that that's not working for you, and that you're going to make yourself available to someone who the way they communicate, love, and so on works and jives with you. Because then you can start working on having a harmonious relationship. If you're having trouble from the get-go, it's not necessarily going to get better.
You can take necessarily out of that sentence.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to lessen the blow.
Yeah, I don't lessen the blow. So, yeah.
This is Frank.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so leaving with actionable stuff. And we always leave a Q&A session at the end. So it's from 4 to 6. So usually it gets really juicy in the conversation, and our guests end up asking questions anyways because it's a fairly intimate group. But we definitely leave time at the end. So if you come with questions, we can certainly ask them, answer them for you. And if you've got some that have absolutely nothing to do with necessarily the topic at hand, we'll certainly address those as well. So if us talking during this last hour has brought up some stuff, and you want to maybe get some answers via email, and do a private way of getting some feedback, you can reach me at info@jointhedinnerparty.com, and you can reach Jill.
Jill at tangentpath.com.
Yeah.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook, yeah. Yeah, you can private message there
Maybe
too.
you can put the link under there afterwards to reach me.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, absolutely. We can do that.
All
And you can find her on Twitter as well.
Yes.
So we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yes.
Thanks to those of you that joined us today. And that was our first Just Ask session.
Woo.
Thanks, Jill, for being here. Thanks for running down the street and joining me.
Totally. And I did run down the street. I'm serious.
That's fantastic. That's great. I love it. Okay, everybody. Big kisses.
Good night.
And see you soon.
See you Sunday.
Bye.
Bye. I want a different hat. Try the mask. Just try the mask really quick.
Oh,
I want to see the dog.
you're going to be a cat?
Okay.
I'm going to sign off with a cat with hearts on her head.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's good makeup, actually.
And we always want to leave with an semblance of
What?
making us feel good.
Oh, some cookies.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.